everybody, welcome back to my health and wellness channel. So today I'm going to be showing you guys one of my favorite Italian recipes. This is better than ever lasagna. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to preheat the oven to 375 degrees. I'm going to use this is a 9 by 11 inch baking pan. And I'm going to spray it with some nonstick cooking spray, because you don't want to have your lasagna noodles sticking to the bottom of the pan, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the ingredients I'm going to be using, okay? So the first thing I'm going to be using is I'm going to use lean ground beef, about a pound. I'm going to use some reduced fat mozzarella cheese. A jar of, I usually use organic tomato sauce, because this is a tip, guys, it doesn't have as much of the added sugar as the regular pasta sauces do. Some Parmesan cheese, 1 egg, some low-fat cottage cheese. I use this in place of ricotta cheese because cottage cheese has a lot less fat than ricotta cheese, and it tastes just as good. And then, of course, I have my lasagna noodles here, the oven-ready kind you want to buy. And for my seasonings for the beef, I'm going to be using oregano, onion powder, garlic powder, parsley flakes, and basil. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my skillet here, I'm going to put it on medium-high heat. I'm going to add about 1/4 cup of olive oil to the bottom of the skillet. I'm going to go ahead and take my ground beef. I'm going to put that into the pan here and just, break it up with my spoon here, just to let that get evenly distributed. So while we're waiting for that to warm up, I'm going to show you guys the other piece of this, of course, which is what makes this lasagna the healthier version, okay? So in my bowl here, I'm going to go ahead and take my cottage cheese. So you're going to use about 16 ounces of cottage cheese. This container here is 24 ounces, so I already used a little bit out of this container. So I'm just going to go ahead and add this to my bowl here. And I'm going to use about 1/4 cup of Parmesan cheese. I'm kind of eyeballing it, guys. As you know from my previous videos, I don't measure. And then 1 egg. Okay. So let me go ahead and grab, let's see here. Grab another spatula here and just kind of mix this up in the bowl. Okay, so as you can see, guys, this is I just evenly mix the egg in there, so you can just see it's all the ingredients are evenly distributed again, okay? So there's that, because that's going to be our one layer in our lasagna, okay? And I'm still waiting for this to brown, so we'll just give this a few more minutes to get this together, and then we'll go ahead and add our dry ingredients. So I'm going to add my oregano to that. Guys, I don't really measure. I would say maybe 1/2 teaspoon. Same for the onion powder. I'm gonna open this. There we go. Garlic powder, same thing, about 1/2 teaspoon to a teaspoon, depending on how much garlic you like. I like a lot of garlic. I'm an Italian girl, so I gotta put garlic in there. And then some parsley. Actually, take that off. Okay. basil leaves. Like I said, guys, about a fourth to a half a teaspoon of basil. And then you're gonna go ahead and mix all your dry ingredients together with the beef and let it finish browning up. Like I said, continue this on medium to medium-high heat. So as you can see in here, guys, this is all the ingredients that are evenly distributed in the skillet. You don't want to have, you know, too much of one ingredient and not the other. So I'm going to go ahead and let this is almost done browning. So what I'm going to do is when it's close to being almost done browning, I usually go ahead and add my marinara sauce. So like I said, this is about like a 24-ounce jar of sauce, okay? So I usually use 1 jar of sauce. And I'm going to turn the heat down to about a 4 on your stove. Go ahead and add some sauce. Just going to stir that in together with the meat. And I'm going to go ahead, guys, and let this simmer for about 5 minutes. Okay, guys, so now it's time for the favorite part, assembling the lasagna. So we got my dish here that I had already sprayed with cooking spray because you don't want the noodles to stick on the bottom, okay? So what we're going to do is I'm going to put about a 1/4 to a 1/3 cup of this ground beef and sauce on the bottom of the pan. So I'm just kind of spreading that on the bottom as beginning of my first layer, okay? I'm gonna go ahead and take 3 lasagna noodles, put that right on top. Okay. So the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and add half of this cottage cheese and egg mixture, okay? And I'm just gonna kind of evenly spread it across, like so. Okay, just like that. Just kind of, like I said, you want to make an even layer. Okay. And then I'm gonna go ahead and do a layer of the sauce and the meat mixture on top. This is an 8-ounce bag of mozzarella, so I'm going to add about half of this mozzarella right on top. Maybe not half, I'm sorry, I apologize, like a 1/3 of this bag. Okay, so that's layer number 1. So I'm basically just going to repeat the layers again. Go ahead and take 3 noodles, place those right on top of my first layer. And then take the rest of my cottage cheese and egg mixture and do the same thing on top. Like I said, guys, I'm using cottage cheese in place of ricotta cheese. It's just a healthier version of lasagna. And it tastes just as good. Next, I'm going to do my meat sauce mixture here on top. And then add my other about a 1/3 cup of the mozzarella right on top. Okay, so I'm going to add my last 3 lasagna noodles right on top. So I'm going to to take the rest of my lasagna, or not lasagna, I'm sorry, my meat mixture, and put that on top. I'm just going to kind of spread that around here, right on top. Doesn't have to look pretty. Trust me, it's good. Okay. Then I'm just going to add the rest of my mozzarella cheese right on top. Okay, so that's what it looks like. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and cover this with some foil. And I already preheated my oven to 375 degrees. So I'm going to go ahead and stick this in the oven. And I'm going to set my timer for 35 minutes. Alright guys, so my lasagna is done. It's been about 35 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and take this out of the oven. Turn this off. Just to take the foil off. And this is what the finished product looks like. So what I will do is I'm going to let this sit for about 5 minutes, and then I'll go ahead and cut it. It's enough for probably about 4 to 6 servings, and I usually will, sometimes I'll serve it with a salad or some bread on the side. So here you go, guys. This is a healthier version of lasagna, and if you like this recipe, comment below. I appreciate all the comments, and check me out on Facebook or Instagram, and I'll see you guys next time.